Hi, everybody. I'm Tori.
I'm Courtney, and we're your bitch pack friends.
Today, we're going to talk about two of the hottest TV sensations right now, Love on the Spectrum and Love is Blind. Two reality shows. Courtney and I just watched both of them. Well, did you finish Love on the Spectrum?
I did. There's only 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I finished it.
I'm not quite finished with Love is Blind, but it's okay. You can give me spoilers. I've already read a few spoilers
Okay.
too, because it's all over the
Well,
internet right now.
there's new episodes coming out today, and hopefully that's like the finale. So I haven't even seen who gets married or anything. Nobody
Oh, okay.
has at this point.
Okay. Which one should we talk about first?
Let's do. I feel like Love is Blind is a better start, so we can
Okay.
follow up with the wholesome.
Okay. End on a wholesome note.
Yes, and
Okay,
on a
so
positive note.
Love is Blind. I'm to the point they just did the couples got together and went to Punta Cana or wherever or Dominican. I don't know where they went, somewhere down south. And
Somewhere
then
tropical.
yeah, and then they everything happened and now they just got on planes and moved back to Charlotte and they're settling into their homes. And I guess
Okay.
they're going to meet the people they left behind soon. I saw like
Mhm.
a preview for that and I'm nervous.
Okay, so that the thing like meeting them, the people that they didn't choose, that happened so much later than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like every single episode, I was like, all right, now it's happening. And it just didn't happen until like they're teasing something that doesn't happen until pretty far in the future.
Oh, okay. All right, let me tell you what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
I think Jimmy is going to leave Chelsea and get back with what's her face, Jess.
Okay.
And I think Chelsea is going to leave. Oh, I guess they're in the same couple. I think Chelsea is going to leave Jimmy and get with Trevor.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you
Yeah.
where we're at so far?
Yeah.
Somehow Jimmy and Chelsea are so strong.
No.
He does a 180 and he is like so in love. And
It might be
it feels sincere at this point,
okay.
which I was
Maybe
not expecting. And
I wonder.
cuz I thought the same thing. I was like Chelsea is totally going to get back with Trevor when she sees it's like her type. She likes the big muscly guys and I was like, "Oh, game over for Jimmy."
Yeah.
But they like meet and they talk and it's like I think a fairly healthy conversation and he's like respectful of Jimmy. I mean, as
Yeah.
respectful as you can be when talking about your own relationship with this person. And then they're just like, yep, we're good together, Chelsea and Jimmy. But there is a point. Jimmy tells Jess, he's like, you're still my number one choice. But then he's like, all right, that's it. But like then they don't get together. But Jess is very respectful of Chelsea. She's like, Chelsea is my priority over Jimmy at this point. Which
Okay.
is weird because they're still like spilling their feelings to this person.
Yeah. Okay. That's surprising to me. I really didn't. I do like how it seems like all the girls are like for each other. Like there's not like
Yes,
backstabbing and hooking up
for
and
the
lying.
most part. Mostly girls.
Um, I
There's one case that is not gross.
okay, but I didn't think Jess like when the conversation that she has with Jimmy when they break up in the pods is to me it seemed not very girlsy. but,
That
but
was not.
so I didn't think that she was gonna. I didn't think she would be. I thought she would steal him if she had the chance.
No, I think she settled down. I think she was just so pissed.
Yeah.
She was like, screw this guy. But
Yeah.
also, like, I don't know. Like, at that point, it's obvious Jimmy is not good at expressing himself.
Yeah.
And she gives him this, like, heartfelt letter. And then she's like,
Yeah.
and you were silent. Like, he is always silent. Why are you surprised?
Yeah. This poor man is he just like keeps encountering women's feelings and he like cannot, he like has no idea what to do with.
He doesn't know what to do with his own feelings,
Yeah.
let
They're like,
alone
why don't you
somebody
share your
else's.
feelings? And he's like, yeah. Jimmy and who's the other one? Kenneth are like, you can just tell by looking at them on camera that there's so much happening with them internally, and even they don't know. Like
They don't know how to
how
get
they're
it out.
they don't know how they're feeling, and you just see them acting it out. Like I just watched the scene where Kenneth is acting like a bitch on the bed while like Brittany's unpacking all their stuff and like trying to get him to do stuff
Yes.
with her, and he's
Dude,
just
I cannot
ignoring her.
stand.
And like,
So when did Kenneth and AD have their conversation about like having like black kids basically? Was that on the vacation?
yeah, on
So
vacation at the tiki bar night.
that's where I saw him flip. Like maybe
Yeah.
AD mentioning that he was like, "You're right," and he was just looking for an out, but didn't want to like say
Yeah.
it. So he starts acting like a total twat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, at least that's how it's presented. But he didn't
That's how.
like
Yeah.
he even brought it up with her and she was like, I don't know. I just feel like he didn't really even give her a chance. Like he brought it up and she talked about it and Brittany responded really well, I
Mhm.
thought. Probably naively, like she doesn't know. but
Yeah.
but he never was like, he just let it lie and then he just started acting like a jerk. And
Right. When they seemed so strong, like in the pods and coming out of the pods. And then it's like, what happened? So it seemed like once they went back to real life, he gets his phone and he starts working again. And he acts like just completely consumed with his phone. And like he's
yeah.
the principal of his school. Like, don't act like you have to be on your phone that much.
Yeah, principals don't even do that much.
I don't know. But I mean,
I don't know what they do.
it can't be as important as Kenneth was making it look.
Yeah, well, and she's just like begging him to give. All she's doing is like, give me a little bit of attention, and he like won't do it. And she's like laying
Right.
on him, and he's like, ugh, this sucks.
Just over it. Well, and like this is the phase where they should be all over each other. Like it's
Yeah.
not gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like a brand new couple, that's when you can't keep your hands off yourselves, off each other.
Who's the other one? Jeremy and Laura. They seem a little rocky.
They're very well, like they joke, but it's like, are you joking?
Yeah. He's also like really annoying. Like and I'm like,
He
was he
acts
not
like a little
annoying?
boy.
Was he not annoying in the pod? Because he does.
No,
I
he
was like,
seemed like he was like just a dork.
yeah. But then I don't know. So like Chelsea started acting really different outside the pod, and then Jeremy also was like, I don't know what happened. Like I don't know if those guys are like insecure about how they look, or like maybe they have feelings about how the other person looks. Maybe they're intimidated or something. But they just started acting crazy. Like Jeremy is insufferably annoying in my opinion.
He's so annoying.
And I feel like Laura thinks he's annoying too. Like
she can't stand him. I love Jeremy's cleanliness. I'm like, that's hot. But that's the only thing about him that's attractive. And like I like a funny, goofy guy. Like that's why I married my husband, is he made me laugh. But sometimes it's like, shut up.
Yeah. I don't know. So they seem, I don't know. Do they break up?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. You can spoil it.
They fail hard.
Okay.
It is a nightmare. So he gets caught. He's out until like 4 or 5 a.m. with the girl he didn't choose. What's her name?
Sarah Ann.
And he's like, we talked until that long. And then he said they were in the parking lot and that he like drove her back to her house. And her name's Laura, right?
Yeah.
She's like, bullshit, basically, which, yeah, I mean, what is there to talk about at 4 a.m.? And so he's like still with Laura at this point. And like, I think if she would have like forgiven him, he would have stayed with her, but she basically rips him to shreds, as she should. And he's like, and then he gets back with Sarah Ann, and he's like, I think it's obvious I chose the wrong person. And it's like literally in the same day, Laura's like, we're not getting back together. Like, you fucking suck. Yeah. And then he goes to Sarah Ann, he's like, you want to go ride jet skis? And he's just all happy and like having a grand old time on these jet skis with Sarah Ann.
Yeah.
Like, you suck.
It's so weird. It makes me okay, I'm into the show a lot more than I thought I would be, but it makes me It stresses me out when people say I love you really easily, or they're like, they talk about being all in, or like wanting to, or like, I know the point of the show is to get married, but like when they just go from being like one morning they don't know who to choose, and then by the afternoon they're like, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. Like, it gives me anxiety.
It's horseshit.
And I can't, like, I was thinking, like, would I want to be on this show? And I think I would probably have a break. Like, I understand when they have mental breakdowns, because I feel like that would happen to me, of like
Yeah.
all these
Well,
feelings and you don't know what's real and what's not. And
it's very obvious that like whoever's in charge of this show, they're like, you have to propose before you meet them or you don't meet them.
yeah,
Because that's literally like you have to, there's like steps everybody takes in the show. It's like first you have to tell them you love them, then you have to propose without ever seeing them, and then you propose again when you see them.
yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Do you think that when they're like recruiting people for the show, they have in mind like what couples they think will meet up, or no? I think it's just
I don't
random.
know. Maybe.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to say. You don't know what people are gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could predict who any of my friends would end up choosing.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, I do have a question about Amy and Johnny. I kind of like them. I like them less as time goes by because they're boring. Does anything
There's
happen
no
with
drama.
them? Okay.
No. No drama with them.
They kind of
Which
teased
is
in the last episode. They kind of teased that, like, she's like, I need my dad's approval, and he's like, what?
he
I thought
gets
this
it.
was a done deal.
He gets the approval.
it. Okay, well, I guess
Yeah,
that's
they're
that.
and I'm like, is it so easy because like they don't actually care? Like usually if you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
is it just making sense, but do they actually like each other?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they do though.
I think that's a good question. They did, at one point, Johnny did say, like, I think it was Johnny. He said, like, we need to get into a fight to see how it, like, resolves. And so far, they haven't.
I don't think it happens.
Yeah.
I can't remember them arguing about anything. So like their biggest thing is like birth control.
Yeah.
But like it seems to be she's like very open to trying it. She's like I had been thinking about doing it anyways for like health reasons. And he had like looked into a vasectomy and he was like absolutely not. Which like big surprise.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I did see the conversation. It's weird when they have conversations with other people outside of the couple about it. Like, he had that conversation with Laura about birth control, and I was like, why are you talking to her about this? Like, he's
I don't
like
even remember that.
He's like telling, they're like at the beach, and he's telling Laura that they haven't slept together because Amy's not on birth control. And I'm like, why are you telling her
TMI.
this?
TMI.
Like, and then they have a whole conversation about like how birth control can be bad for you and have side effects and stuff. And
he's like, yeah, definitely, but she needs to go on it.
He's like, yeah, but I don't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah, I don't. He's like, I just met her. She needs to go on it.
I'm definitely not getting a vasectomy.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I think I question. I don't know. I mean, I question maybe the depth of it, but they seem to be getting along good. So
I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, I'm surprised about Jimmy and Chelsea. I'll be honest, but hey, some people.
Yep. I guess we'll see. So like, we'll see if they get married. Hopefully that episode airs today and I can watch it. But then also, eventually they'll be posting on social media and stuff where they stand today. So it's like, even if they get married, it doesn't mean they're gonna I mean, after Chelsea sees Jimmy tell Jess that she's still his number one pick, wouldn't you be like, what do you mean? Like, and you still married me?
Her self-esteem is too low. She's not gonna say no to that.
It's very low, but you can also tell Jimmy doesn't like her that much.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, it gets better. It does get better somehow. And he seems very infatuated with her. But at the beginning, he seems like he doesn't give two shits.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing that's happening with both Jimmy and Chelsea and Brittany and Kenneth, is that the guy just doesn't like the girl that much, and he won't just tell her. And so the girl is acting crazy because she's like, you don't like me. And he's like,
She knows.
like, she can tell that he doesn't like her. It
And he's
both,
like, what do you mean? I tell you I love you all
they're
the
like, what's the
time.
matter with you? Something's wrong with you. You're a crazy person. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, like, you're not, like, you literally won't give her like basic affection and respect. Like,
Yes. And then you wonder why she's losing her mind.
and you also don't have, like, won't give her the dignity of just saying it's not gonna work out. Like, so
Just admit it.
you're gonna make her act like a psycho and then make her break up with you.
Yeah. Kenneth on his cell phone, though, I just wanted to take it and smash it.
Yeah.
She had some patience there.
I did have one. Oh, my other question. Matthew and AD.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Matthew sucks.
Matthew's wild.
You know what I thought was weird, though, is that in the cut of the show, they don't show Matthew's conversations with Amber, the girl that left.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if she asked them not to show it. And
I don't even know if she would have that power.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't either. But it's weird that, because I feel like it would have been such a satisfying viewing experience to have them talk about it and then have just like cut scenes of him saying the same thing.
Yes. that would have made it, yeah, that would have made it very easy.
The thing that bums me out, though, is I know Matthew's going to go back to Wisconsin or wherever he's from and just clean up on the dating scene. A bunch of dumb girls are going to try to get with him now.
Probably true. It's the guy from Love is Blind.
Yeah. Those other girls didn't get him, but I get him.
I can save him. What is the Taylor song? But Daddy, I love him.
But I feel like AD does have some of those tendencies because she ends up with these guys that like no one understands and they're tough guys and
they need to be babied, basically.
Yeah. And yeah, Clay, I mean, I get that she and Clay have chemistry, but like I just watched the clip where he's like, I don't know if I can be faithful to you, babe. Like,
and that's like a thing that keeps coming up is he's like, I'll just feel like I'm gonna be a cheater. Like if somebody's admitting that, wouldn't you be like, I'm out of here?
Yeah. And then I'm surprised she got over the whole thing of him like being concerned about how she looks, even though she's like arguably the most beautiful person there. And
yeah. And I love that she like didn't tell him. Like, yes, I am hot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see. So in the final episode, is that like a wedding episode if anybody gets married?
I think, yeah. So, and hopefully that's today so we can figure it out. But yeah, I think the ending, I don't think it shows after weddings. I think it's just like they're married happily ever after.
Okay. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm rooting for all of them.
Yup.
Just want everyone to be happy, except Chelsea and Jimmy together. I don't want.
I don't like it. Can we also talk about how Chelsea does look like Megan Fox?
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you brought that up. She does look like Megan Fox, and I was like, maybe it was stupid of her to say that, except it worked. So
yes, and she did try to say, she was like, it's just because I have blue eyes and dark hair. He didn't hear that. He heard, I look like Megan Fox, and he's like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. So she did set herself up for a little bit. She did set him up for, I think, a little bit of disappointment because she looks like,
and you can see it on his face.
Yeah. And he even says it after they meet. He's like, she lied to me. She said she looks like Megan Fox.
He's stupid.
But okay, so it was a bummer that he, he thought she was more attractive than he found her to be, I guess. But I feel like part of the reason he chose her is because she said she looked like Megan Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going to look like a dick if he's like, I don't want to be with you because you're not as pretty as I thought you were.
So, yeah, when they were like Rocky, those were my exact thoughts, is he can't be like, when they're like, what is your reasoning for not wanting to be with her? She doesn't look like Megan Fox. But like, I cannot believe the amount of people who are like, she looks nothing like Megan Fox. Like, there are scenes where even if she would have never said that, I'm like, that's Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard not to see it.
She looks a lot like Megan Fox. I don't.
She does. I mean, they have their differences, obviously, but I see the similarities.
Yeah. Do people ever tell you have a celebrity lookalike?
Never. When I was like early 20s, people used to tell me I looked like Bella from Twilight. I think it's just
Oh,
because I speak very like monotone
I can
and I
see
was like
that.
quiet and like dark.
Yeah.
I've also gotten who's the girl from 50 Shades?
Oh, yeah, Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. I've gotten her a couple times, but that's it.
Can you imagine if somebody was like, you know what? I don't want to date you because you said you look like Kristen Stewart and you don't.
Like, okay, whatever. Has anybody ever told you you look like a celebrity?
Almost never. But when we were like college age, people used to tell me I looked like Ellen Page a lot from Juno.
Oh, I see that.
Which back then I did. Now we don't look anything alike. But
Nope. Completely
and
different.
I was Juno one year for Halloween.
Fitting.
Yeah.
Fitting.
But that's it. I mean, Hollywood
I will
has room
say,
for someone like me, I think.
yeah, totally. What's the show I just watched? Conversations with Friends. That
Yeah.
actress reminded me of you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Allison Oliver?
Yep. She reminded me of
really?
you.
I love her.
Yeah, same.
Now I gotta watch that show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else about Love is Blind before we transition?
I don't think so.
All right, Love on the Spectrum. I'm so glad you watched it. Tell me your
It was
initial
so
thoughts.
good. So I'd been wanting to watch it, and it is just like the most wholesome.
Wholesome.
It's so stinking cute, and it gives you like a better understanding of people who are on the spectrum. I just think it's a great show. Like I've seen people be like, "Oh, so now we're using autistic people as entertainment," and I don't. It's
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah. Well, it's so annoying when people say that because like almost everyone that's been on the show has made a public statement saying like it's pandering to me that you would tell me how I feel about being on the show. And like I love being on the show and I love
Right.
raising awareness for autism and it's done great things for like me personally and my family and all this stuff. And like basically every cast member on the show has made a public statement like that. And it's
Well, and
disrespectful to them to tell them how they
it
should feel.
is. And you can see just from watching it, like they are perfectly capable.
Yeah.
And they have all the same feelings we do, and they're very good at expressing them.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not shy about telling you the truth. That's for
Which
sure.
I love.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's the thing. I was like thinking about both of these shows and I was like, when you're in the pod and when you're on Love is Blind and when you're watching these people on Love on the Spectrum, like there's like I feel like there's room for honesty where like in normal situations that you maybe want to like put on a good show or put on a front or something. And like I mean some of these guys on Love on the Spectrum are just freaking brutal with their honesty.
But it's not, you never have to wonder, like you don't have to question their sincerity. You don't have to wonder like, does he like me or doesn't he? Like they're gonna tell you.
Yeah. My favorite is Connor, and I love when he
Connor.
arguably his most iconic moment is when he writes on the speed dating form that he doesn't like the girl while she's sitting right in front.
Oh my, and she's like,
not into nature.
So I just looked Connor up on Instagram, gave him a follow, obviously. He's got merch, they're t-shirts, and they say, "Must I write you a poem?" And I'm like, add to cart. Throw it in my cart, take my money. I'm like, yes.
I love him.
I love him too.
And he I think arguably is the most awkward of everyone on the cast. Like
He is.
remember his date where they were somewhere in Atlanta, like some gardens or palace, and he's just there with the girl that he like loves from Kroger, and they're just staring at each other for like 15 minutes.
In his defense, she's giving very short answers, and like the conversation was all in his hands, and I feel like he has a hard time like getting it out.
Yeah.
Like you just got to give him a second.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But he does eventually. But he was trying. He's like asking her questions and she'll give her one word answer and then he's like,
it's like, you got to work with me.
Even Tanner, who is so chatty and just like, like a ray of light. His girlfriend, do you remember her name?
Kate.
Kate. The
Yeah.
first date, especially, she looks terrified. But he keeps the ball rolling. He's chatty.
Yeah. I did think that those two were like a match made in heaven because I was like, this boy can talk forever and this girl loves it. And she's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yep.
I don't
hmm
know. What do you
But you can
think?
see he is like, give me something, which
Yeah.
she does eventually. She gets a little more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and he's like, he has the dating coach. I forget her name. The dating coach is like telling him, like, you can't just steamroll the conversation. You have to stop and ask the other person and try to get them talking. And so
hmm
he really tries to do
He
that.
does.
And then Kate is like, my favorite color is blue. Like,
hmm
you know?
hmm Yeah.
And yeah, so and he even asks her like open-ended questions and she somehow gives him a one-word answer and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So he does good.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's gonna be okay. I read that in the epilogue or whatever in the final episode it says they're not seeing each other anymore, but
oh
I think
really?
I think Tanner's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Tanner will have no problem finding plenty of people to go on dates with.
Yeah. Um, I also loved. Well, my other favorite awkward moment of Connor was when he's holding hands with Emily. Do you remember on their dog date?
Yes, and
And
they're both just staring at their hands. And you can tell he hates it.
ah,
He's like,
he's-
"Should we just?" and like shakes her up. She's like, "This is nice."
yeah, yeah. He's
But like it's all brand new to him. Like he's never gone on dates at all and it sounds like he never even like had friends before. So imagine
yeah,
going from like no friends to like
yeah,
dating a girl, holding
yeah.
hands with her.
When he's hyperventilating at his speed dating thing, I'm like, this is the most relatable thing I've ever seen.
Right. This is what
All
everybody does at speed dating.
yeah. Everyone does it, just no one else puts it on TV.
Right. And they internalize it.
Yeah. But I do love I like the scene. I think it's early on when his mom is talking about how he doesn't have any friends and like he's so lonely and she just is like really scared for what's gonna happen to him like down the line. It's I don't know, it's so touching and like
Mhm.
how their families all love them so much and just like want them
Yes.
to be okay and safe in the world and want people to love them.
Mhm.
And I don't it's just it's
And I
hard.
love how their families treat them just like any other young person. Like
Yeah.
they definitely have more patience
Yeah.
than you would need with like somebody without these special needs, but like they don't treat them like babies, which I love.
Yeah. Uh, another favorite person on Love on the Spectrum is Danny, the animator.
Danny. Yes, girl.
Danny really comes into her own, I feel like, in season 2.
She figures out what she's looking for.
Did you like? Well, I had forgotten that she sees Adon in season 1, and she's like not into it, right? And then she's like, "Well,
Which like blew my mind because he was everything she said she wanted.
yeah, she just wasn't feeling it, I guess."
Yeah.
So she gets him back, and she starts grooming him.
Basically.
um the scene in the final episode where she feeds him cupcakes to practice kissing is like a lot.
What? I can't believe it was legal to air that. Wait, they should have cut.
Very suggestive. But yeah.
And she's like so ballsy to like be like, I'm gonna take him this cupcake and teach him how to kiss, and millions of people are gonna see it, and I don't give a shit.
She's very she's on a mission. She does not care about the
No,
collateral damage.
she knows what she wants.
I also love the conversation where they're like sex before. She's like, "What do you think about sex before marriage?" And he's like, well, I'm Catholic, so like not really into it." And she's like, "What about with me?" And he's like, "Maybe."
I don't see anything wrong with that. And she's like, "Would you like to kiss?"
It's great. Oh,
Good
my other big dilemma what did you think about? They didn't give us any context when James goes on that date with that girl with the blue hair. Do you know what I'm talking about? The black girl with the blue hair.
Yes.
And I was like, is she autistic? She reaches out to him on Instagram, I think. And I'm like, is she
Right.
autistic? Is she like, what's going on? Is she just like kind of awkward? And um, that was weird. And I was like, is she just trying to take advantage of him? She's trying to
Did
get
she
on
want to be on
TV.
TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered that too. But she did seem like very sweet. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wondered the same thing. There were a few people where they don't say if they have autism or not.
Yeah.
And it was like, how did they end up like on this show?
Yeah. But yeah, that girl won me over eventually because I was like, I feel like she's really in it. And then James,
Blue
I'm
haired
like,
girl?
yeah, like I feel like she was really like giving him a chance and trying to get to know him.
Mhm.
And then he's the one that broke it off with her because of the kids
Yeah.
thing.
Yep. Which I'm proud of him for. But
I know.
then, so like, yeah, he's stuck to it. Good for him. And then at the end, when it's giving you like the updates, it's like James is dating a single mom.
Is
Do
he
you
really?
remember
I
that?
forgot.
Yeah.
No.
So I tried to get
Honestly,
on.
yeah.
I
Sorry,
tried
go
to
ahead.
get on his social media to see like what was going on there, and I don't see any females.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. Or maybe he
Um,
just doesn't post his dates, whatever.
do you think that you could date someone on the spectrum?
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like any of them would make a great stepdad, like or step parent, because they're just like
Mhm.
they're not gonna lie to you. They're just gonna do what they're supposed to do, and like
Right.
and like help and be honest and talk to your kids and fulfill their responsibilities and like
Yeah.
there's like no duplicity with them. It's just
Yes.
what you see is what you get.
Well, and like everybody always says, like, oh, it's the little things in life. And like, does anybody really pay attention to that? But like with them, it is.
Yeah.
Like they're just enjoying their day. Like
Yeah.
they have their hobbies and there's no like drama with it.
Yeah.
And they don't have like weird goals. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're enjoying their days.
They're just happy to be here.
Yeah. They don't have any existential crises about
Mm-hmm.
the meaning of life or how successful they're supposed to be.
Exactly. They're not trying to impress anybody. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at.
Yeah. Did you know Amy Schumer is married to an autistic guy?
I did know that. And she was like, that's why I like him.
She's like, he never lies to me.
Right.
I'm like, does this dress look good? And he's like, no.
I see the appeal.
Yeah, I like that for her.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that there's a resurgence or a popularity of dating people on the spectrum because of the show.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
I feel like it helps people like understand them more and be more accepting, so I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, if you have time and want more, there is an Australian version of the show, which I think is
Of
even
course I want more.
I think it's even more funny because they all I mean it's essentially the same, but
Mhm.
they just have Australian accents and
I was gonna ask. I say nar.
yeah, they say now.
Cool.
And it's they're all like in beach towns. It's very pretty.
We didn't talk about Abby, did we?
Oh no, we
Abby and
didn't.
Dave, and she's like my favorite. She's everybody's favorite, I feel like.
I don't like her. I don't
You don't like
really.
Abby?
No, she's
What
a
an
lot.
asshole.
She's just I don't know. She's a lot.
Like just like her
Okay, you know
her
what? Fine.
Disney princess stuff.
I do like her. Yeah, she does talk about Disney
Please
too much.
explain yourself.
She's not my favorite, okay?
Okay, that's fine. I'll accept
But
it.
I like her and David together.
Adorable.
I like how they're sticking it out and they enjoy each other's company and they're always affirming of each other.
Yep, they're
If
making
one of-
sense.
If one of them breaks into song, the other joins, which I mean,
I love it.
What is love if not that, you know?
When they're all singing to the lions, I'm like, that I would love that. They're living a better life than me.
Yeah. I think go ahead.
I have noticed that David will just kind of like echo what she says, and that makes her happy. So
Yeah, okay, she's a little bossy, all right?
she's a little bossy,
All right.
but she knows what she wants.
Yeah, it's true. And David knows what he wants too, and it's just to make Abby happy. And
Exactly.
I do like
His
that.
princess.
Yeah.
Smart man.
David's loaded. I don't know what
Yeah.
the
What
situation
do his
is.
parents do?
I have no idea. They raised triplets and
Yeah.
they
And they didn't completely drown.
yeah. Um
He gets her Tiffany
so
jewelry more than once.
yeah, he took her whole family to Africa. I mean, I love that for them. Maybe I would like that.
Where are these funds coming from?
Yeah, I don't it's an interesting situation, but
Mhm.
yeah, they're a good couple. I feel like they're gonna stick it out. And when
Also,
are they get married?
I feel like they will soon.
Yeah.
Can honorable mention Abby's mom. Love her. I would be friends with her.
You would be friends with her?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think she's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't remember her as much.
So like one scene that's like really sticking out to me is she's like interviewing, just like her talking to the camera, and they're talking about going to Africa, and she was like, "Yeah, last season Abby said we can't go to Africa because her mom doesn't have enough money," and she's laughing. She's like, "Which is pretty much true." I was like, she was like embarrassed that her kid called her out for not having any money.
Not having enough money to go to Africa is like not really a burn though.
Like, who
like
does have money to go to Africa?
it's like 10 grand to go to Africa on a safari like that.
Like per
For
person?
one person, yeah.
Jeez.
That's funny. I think you got to get used to brutal honesty if you're gonna raise
Yes.
an autistic person.
Hmm.
All right. So, which of these shows do you think is better?
It depends what you're looking for. I feel like if you're a fan of just garbage TV and you love drama, Love is Blind. But
Mm.
if you want to feel happy, Love on the Spectrum.
I think that's fair. They're hard. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They're just so different.
Mhm.
They are both very good and very satisfying for different reasons.
Similar but totally different.
Similar but opposite. All right. Well, I think that about covers it. If you watch these shows, let us know. We're your
Yep.
Bitch Pack friends.
Bye bye.